Bismillahirrahmanirrahim. Welcome to the online class to the students of second year honors. I am Sayyida Nahida Yasmin, lecturer, Department of English, Dhaka Women College. Students, I think that you are maintaining personal hygiene and social distance and continuing your study in a full swing. Today, I am going to deliver a lecture on advanced reading and writing. Advanced reading and writing, code 21105. The question pattern of advanced reading and writing are quite different from other courses. So, I want to make easy the question pattern and show the question pattern. I want to show the question pattern at a glance first. That means part A, reading 1, writing 1. Part B, reading 2, writing 2. Part C, reading 3, writing 3. Reading 1. On passage, there will be passage and we will make the question answer. Writing 1. Question answer from basic definition. Basic definition means what is there will be some questions, 5 questions you have to answer. That what is report, what is paragraph, how many kinds of paragraph are, what is cohesion, what is cohesion, what is coherence, etc. This is called basic definition. Reading 2, on passage, another passage. That means you have in this passage you will make question and give the answer. There will be question and you will give the answer. Writing 2, technical writing questions. There are some technique you have to adopt to answer these questions. Later when I will discuss this matter, I will tell about the criteria to do this technical writing. Reading 3, on poem, and there will be a question answer. That means 2 questions, here summarization or on question. Writing 3, creative or productive writing. We can say this portion also descriptive writing. And creative writing or productive writing covers these 5 items. That is amplifications, paragraph writing, composition writing, letter writing, application writing. So students, today I will deliver my lecture reading first and later I will discuss on the topic of writing. So while before entering into the discussion, we have to know what is writing. Writing is a skill. Writing is the skill, the ability of an individual to read, to comprehend or to interpret written words on a page of an article or any other kind of reading materials. This skill give the people the ability to give a clear meaning about the text. This skill, that means reading skill is very much important because we read something in forms of writing every day. So reading is very important in this purpose. If you show, I want to say that to increase language proficiency, we have to master 4 skills. And I think that students, you are well acquainted with these 4 skills. That is, these 4 skills are listening, reading, speaking and writing. There are 2 groups here. Listening and reading is called receptive skill. That means passive skill. Listening and reading, receptive skill, and speaking and writing belong to the productive skill. That means creative skill. What is receptive skill now? We have to know. The aim of receptive skill is a passive skill, and listening and reading is called receptive skill. The aim of receptive skill is to read and to or learn a text and gather information, collect information from the text. Actually, reading is a language activity, the purpose of which is to receive and gather information about the text. Anything the reader reads, be it oral or silent, the purpose of which is to understand something. That means reading skill gives us the essential background of the comprehension. Students, most of the times reading means comprehension most of the time. So we have a very thorough idea about comprehension. Comprehension is a passage, written passage. There is we may call it composition as well. So comprehension, there are also like reading skills. There are reading skills also 4 skills, and there are 4 strategies to understand the comprehension. So if you adopt these 4 strategies, that will be very helpful to you to well acquainted the comprehension. The first is skimming. Second, scanning. Number 3, be different. Number 5, expanding vocabulary. Students, in writing portion, you got these ideas, I think. What is skimming? Skimming means whenever you go through a comprehension, you have to have a quick read and got message from that comprehension. That means you should understand the context as a whole. Finally, we can say that skimming is the ability of understanding something. Number 2, scanning. This section will provide you about the problem of the comprehension. That means you have to identify the problem of the comprehension first, and you also show that is there any solution provided. That means where there is a problem, there is a solution. Where are the problems of the comprehension, and where are the solution, possible solution, and is it talk about any recommendation as well. Number 3, very much important, be different. That means at the time of reading comprehension, you have to be different in your idea. That means you have to organize, and you have to find either the comprehension has positive meaning or negative meaning. If the comprehension provides positive meaning, then you will write accordingly, and if the comprehension possesses negative meaning, you write accordingly. And finally, the main thing is that you read in between the line. Okay, students. Number 4, expanding vocabulary. Very much important, I think. Vocabulary means how can you reach your vocabulary? When you go through the comprehension, there are some difficult words. You have to realize the meaning of these words and the similar meaning. Find out the similar meaning, that means antonym. Find out the opposite meaning, and that means antonym, and analogy as well. Analogy is very important regarding this indexing vocabulary. So antonym, synonym and analogy will provide you the vocabulary that will, by this vocabulary you will be benefited much. So for these 4 strategies I want to say that these are the technique you can adopt while writing a comprehension or basic idea. More other strategies. These 4 strategies also very important in this respect. Number 1, using prior knowledge. That means when the students review the text, they tap into what they have already known about the text, and they will add their prior knowledge for more advancement. Prior knowledge, whenever you read the comprehension, you have to understand something very much familiar to this topic. That means you will add your prior knowledge in this section. Predicting, whenever prior knowledge at the time, prediction comes from the prior knowledge. Prediction is, that means whenever the students make prediction about the text they are about to read, they will find out the similar topic. That means think about that you are going to write about corruption. So you have to gather some ideas and thoughts in your head and in your mind as well that you are going to write. This section, prediction, also adds something new about your prior knowledge. By the help of your prior knowledge and similar topic, you try to understand. Identifying the main idea and summarization. Main idea. In your writing portion, you have the idea about the main idea of a paragraph. That means when you write down a paragraph, you have to find out the main idea. What is main idea? This is a technique also. The repeated word that are usually, most of the times, are used in your comprehension, repeated word will be the main idea of the passage. And in this respect, you will write down the main idea of the passage in your own words. This is the first condition. And summarization. That means what is the main idea, and based on the main idea you will write the summarization. That is also in your own words. And your purpose of the writing text, you have to write. What is the purpose of the writing of the text? This is also you have to add in your thought, in your conception. And finally, questioning. Questioning is a very familiar technique you can adopt. And I think that whenever you don't understand any meaning of the comprehension, that means what is the comprehension is about, your state in mind, whether you will write or not, at that time you go to the given questions. That means there are some questions against the comprehension. You will go to the question and read the questions very minutely, and you will find that you will have your answer. So that means if you write a comprehension about dowry, the dowry system of Bangladesh, dowry in Bangladesh, is there any positive side in dowry, students? So you have to be clear first that it has bad side or good side. If it is good, then you will in your own way, and if you think it is bad, then you will do in your own way. But that means particular way, not in your own way, but particular way. So these are the strategies to apprehend, to master the basic technique of the comprehensions. In this respect, I want to say that think about you are given in your exam a comprehension, the education, the title, the education provided by the private university and public university and private university. This is a comparative study. If you are given the evil of dowry, already mentioned that evil of dowry, that means there is no good side in dowry. You have to think critically about the negative sides of the dowry. Now students, reading is very much related to reading comprehension. There is a comprehension I want to mention, that I am going through the comprehension and you will see that what is the main idea of the comprehension. Okay, I have mentioned already earlier that the repeated word in the comprehension will be the main idea of the comprehension. Okay, I am going through that one of the comprehensions. A symbol is anything that stands for something else. In literature, a symbol is applied to a word or a set of words that signifies an object or event which itself signifies something else. Symbols may be public or conventional and private or personal. Public symbols like the cross, the red, white and blue are generally known and mean the same thing with different users. The private symbols are developed by individual writers to mean things according to their personal objectives. Whitman, one of the poets, says symbols are mostly private or personal. The symbols used in Crossing Brooklyn a Ferry, the name of a poem written by Walter Whitman, are mostly of that nature. That means personal symbol. The poem belonged to the calamus group of poems. Calamus is a kind of grass which grows in untrodden places, and in Whitman's poems it stands for friendship, which is rare physical symbol which represents spiritual love. It is thus a combination of the physical and the spiritual. Student, I have read the comprehension. Can you understand the main idea of the comprehension? The repeated only repeated word is symbol. That means the passage is about symbol. So, in this respect, at the very outset, you have to know what is symbol. A symbol is anything that stands for something else. Now, you cleared the word symbol, and now you will proceed what you are going to write about the symbol. There are two kinds of symbols here: personal symbol, private symbol, used by the very renowned poet Whitman. So you are, by this time you have experienced much about the writing comprehension, the technique of writing comprehension. Now I want to go to the questions, given questions against this comprehension. First question is, what does a symbol signify? Whenever you see the first question, you are sure that the passage is about symbol. Now it is very clear to you, easy for you. Number 2, identify the grammatical structure of the first sentence of the passage. That means the grammatical structure of the first sentence of the passage. Here we have to know the type of making sentence, that means what kind of sentence it is. You should have a very good command over sentence, and by this you can be sure that which sentence the first line is, what kind of sentence the first sentence is. Number C, find out the synonym and antonym of the word private. I have already told to you that antonym and synonym. What is the synonym word of private and antonym word of the private. So this section, this C, that means the question number C indicates this idea, expanding your vocabulary, right? Okay. What is the number one question? What does a symbol signify? You will get this idea from here: skimming and scanning. What is the calamus and where does it grow? This is also another idea taken from this comprehension, and by a thorough reading you can make the answer. Which symbol stands for spiritual love as found in this passage? That means which symbol used by the poet Whitman? Is it private symbol or personal symbol? So if you read the comprehension very thoroughly, you will, by adopting all of these forms in a time, you will see that you are experienced much about the comprehension that are given to you to write the answer, students. And I think that if you follow the lecture regarding literature, it will be quite easy for you to understand the method of writing. What is the method? What is the way of writing comprehensions? And in the next class, students, this is all about reading. Next class, I will go to the another section, that means productive skill. Today we learn receptive skill, that means listening and reading, and in the coming classes productive skill, that means we will talk about speaking and writing. I think that is there any confusion in this regard? Any confusion to you? You go through this idea and you will open your book about where there are about passages in your passage portion, in the grammar book, in the passage portion, and you will find this discussion very much similar to the discussion of mine. Okay, students, thank you. Have a nice preparation for your coming days, coming exam, and be safe at your home. Thank you. All the best.